Good morning to everyone out there, to all my friends and family, anyone new that just happened to stop by. This is Chit Chat with Grandma, and I do this maybe once a week or once a month or somewhere in between. You never know what Grandma's going to do. Well, I wanted to start right out with a reminder. We're doing a Mother's Day tablescape on May 4th. Come on down. If you'd like to join in, feel free to do so. If you have something small like Grandma, mine is going to be a tablescape Mother's Day for two for me and my daughter. And if you are someone like Ellen, Glamour Ellen, that wants to put up a beautiful big display, feel free to do that too. We will have everything from big, small, and in between. Feel free. Don't forget, Grandma loves all of you to join in, and she doesn't have to see everything being glamorous, except if you're one of those people that love big, beautiful, glamorous things. Not all of us do big and glamorous, and I'm one that does the tablescapes for two. And, people still love seeing simpler items, simpler tablescapes, and how people put them together. Because not everybody wants big and elaborate. Grandma's old for one thing, she has a limited amount of money and supplies, and so she does hers usually for two. Now, occasionally she'll surprise you and do something bigger, like her English teas, but usually they're tablescapes for two. Well, now, everybody knows Mother's Day, May 4th. Come on, join in or check out that playlist. Now, I'm off to Mountain Lakes today with three of my grandchildren and four of my great-grandchildren. We're going to go up there and shoot a short little video up at Mountain Lakes, and my great-grandkids are going to be in some Alice in Wonderland little costumes, so it's going to be short, and that video will be up tomorrow, because that'll be the end of Alice in Wonderland. But I just want to share my great-grandchildren with you, because you know how much Grandma loves her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And you know how much I love Mountain Lakes. I do a lot of shooting up there for my videos, because I'm not too far from my house, and it's a private camp, and there's lots of beautiful scenery up there to film. They have a creek, they have mountain views, and best of all, they have plumbing bathrooms. They're not outhouses. And there's play yards for the grandchildren and great-grandchildren to play on, and a water park, and lots of fun things to do up there. So we're going to do a short, 5-10 minute video with the great-grandkids. And then the rest of the day it's going to be fun in the creek or in the water park. But, Grandma loves doing stuff with her family, and she's had both of her COVID shots. And we're going up on Thursday because there's less people up there. I haven't been up there probably in 2 years on a weekend because of the COVID. So, I don't go up in the wintertime because it's in the mountains and it gets cold. And the spring and summer and fall, because of COVID, I haven't been up. So, it's why it's been almost 2 years. So, we'll see what happens this year. Have made reservations already to go up and stay a little. So, we might go up and stay. We might cancel. Who knows? I'm going to wait and see how things go. I probably am going to try to go up maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday just for a few minutes just to see how bad it's going to be. When we were up filming a lot of the Alice in Wonderland footage this month, it was packed up there, even during the week. I was really surprised because that line to get in was pretty long sometimes. So that's why I need to see how it's going to be on a weekend. And they don't even allow that many people in at one time anymore. I think they're at 20 or 30% you only can have in. But I guess everyone's going during the week because it's so hard to get on the weekends. So usually there's nobody even hardly up there during the week. But so that's why I said, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see how it's going to be on the weekends. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up what's coming up. Tomorrow will be the last of my Alice in Wonderland posts, so I hope you stop in and just check it out and see how cute my great-grandchildren are. I got 3 little girls and 1 little boy, and they're all super close because they spend a lot of time together. and they're all about the same age. So my oldest great grandchild is 4, and my youngest is about 15 months. And they're all as cute as can be, as you're going to see tomorrow. Well, don't forget we have in June we're going to have 30 fairy gardens, and I'm going to do 30 fairy gardens in June. Our challenge for all of you fairy lovers is going to be the first Friday in June, and the theme, hopefully you will do some kind of water theme for that fairy garden. I went and bought one of those little miniature fountains you can get for $10, $15, $20, depends where you buy them. And that's what I'm going to use for my water feature. So giving you a heads up, June, the first Friday of June, I don't care what time you put it up. That's a Friday. It's a work day for a lot of people. I'm going to probably get mine up in the morning, hopefully. Probably 9 a.m. California time. But I realize people work. I don't get too upset about the time. Just try to make it that day. And it's going to be a water feature in a miniature or a fairy garden. And you can do any theme you want. You can just have plants if you want. If you want to have fairies, you want to have gnomes, you want to have, go borrow some trucks and cars from your son or grandson's toy box, or go look for some dinosaurs, or any kind of little miniature pieces you can have. They don't have to be fairies. I might actually even do maybe 3 or 4 different versions of that miniature garden, the more I think about it, showing different ways you can do it, where it's just things you already own and have, except for the little miniature water features if you already own one. And you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money for things that Grandma does. Grandma does have things she spent a lot of money for, so don't get me wrong, but a lot of stuff on her channel is just inexpensive stuff. And I have toy boxes and toys that were my grandchildren's toys here when they were children, and now their children are playing with those same toys, if you can believe it. Some of the dinosaurs and cars are like 20 years old. I have little building block sets, Legos, that are 20 years old. You know, my grandchildren love playing with them, and now my great-grandchildren love playing with them. And they all love those blocks. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, they all love building. So that's what I do. And then, of course, I've even done stuff with McDonald's, little things that the McDonald's gives you when you buy something. I got some little fairies one year from McDonald's. Believe it or not, they had some one year. And I made a bunch of fairy gardens out of them. And so you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. And I'd go and buy a lot of stuff at Dollar Tree. And sometimes Big Lots will have a big clearance sale at the end of different seasons, and they will have fairy supplies, very reasonable. I bought fencing one year for like a little over $1, but it was expensive fencing for the fairy gardens, and it looks beautiful still. And I've had it about, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know. It's not new. I didn't buy anything last year for my fairies gardens, because last year I was trying to spend money for home decor, and so I spent zero money on my fairy gardens, except plants. Now, this year, I'm going to still be spending a little money on my fairy gardens, because I do have a lot, but not a lot of money. Probably buy maybe 2, 3 new things each month. I'm going to buy some home decor stuff, but even that I'm going to slow down. This year, what I'm collecting, as you saw, I spent a lot of money for Alice in Wonderland, along with what I already owned and had. And that was bought over quite a few months. That wasn't bought in just a short amount of time. It was a big, big collection that we spent about maybe 4 or 5 months collecting. And we'll probably pick up a couple new things this year if we can find something that's collectible, different, unusual. I'm not just going to go out and start just spending a ton of money, because I have a lot of things already, as you know. This year, my big collection is going to be, and this is what I'm going to be spending my money on, probably from now on, Mackenzie Childs. And I realize it's a very expensive collectible item. I have gotten some inspired pieces, and I will continue to do that if I can find something I really like. And I'll be still doing quite a few inspired pieces, but I have been starting to buy the real Mackenzie Child pieces and probably buying maybe one or two items a month because they are expensive. And I will be sharing whatever I find with you, and and then I'll reuse them as much as I can because I love to repurpose and reuse everything. And so every month you'll see a haul from Mackenzie Child. If I have any inspired pieces, I'll be sharing that probably at the same time because I really can't afford to buy too much at one time. And if I'm trying to do it every month, that's probably why I'll probably be putting it together. And then I will do a tablescape or something to do with home decor in the home. And we'll see how that works out. But like I said, I'm really starting to collect it seriously, and I'll work it into the themes as best I can also. Because the great thing about Mackenzie Childs, their pieces work with a lot of different things. And my channel is mostly about whimsy, fairies, gardening, and that's what they have. And that's what I decided. I have a small home. I can't afford to constantly be buying pieces. And I just feel like I want something that I can use in my home year round. And Mackenzie Childs is so beautiful and the quality is so nice. You are going to be amazed at some of the things that I have found that I haven't even shared yet. And we buy new pieces, used pieces, and then of course the best part, I even borrow pieces because my daughter also is collecting Mackenzie Childs now because I've infected her with how beautiful it is and how wonderful the quality is. Once she saw the few pieces that I do have, how beautiful they are, and not just that they're visually pretty, when you really look at it and touch it and you see the quality, you're not going to believe. It is a lot bigger and better than most out there. So that's why I'm going to start collecting it, because it'll work with what I already own and have. It is whimsical, like I like things to be. And I want my channel to stand out a little different than everybody else. And not because Mackenzie Child is just expensive. It's the whimsy part of it I like. I am also putting my fairies in a lot of my tablescapes now because I like them. And I want to encourage you all to know you can put more than one thing in your coffee bars or your tea bars or your tablescapes. You can do other things. You don't have to have everything look like everyone else. Look and think of something different. You don't have to even do it the way I do it. I mean, I do simple tablescapes. I do not do complicated, elaborate tablescapes. I'm not a complicated person, number one. Number two, I have a tiny house. Number three, I don't have a lot of money. And that's what I want to do. And that's why I decided to do the Mackenzie Childs, because not everyone is collecting it. I realize a lot of people do. But I do have a small budget, so you're not going to see massive pieces at my house. I didn't realize how big some of the pieces were until accidentally Grandma has already bought a few pieces that were quite large, and I had no idea they were that large. Because it seems like Mackenzie Childs has a lot of really small pieces that I do own now. But now Grandma owns a couple of really big pieces. And I'm going to have to be more careful about that because there is a limited space at this house. And the bad thing was everything that I've got, even though it's a little on the big side, I can't send it back because I love it too much. I've had to even rethink where I'm going to use it in the house because it's too big for where I was going to use it. So that's even funnier. So already my little mind has changed its mind on how I want to use some of the pieces that I purchased because they're too big for what I bought them for. So I do want to impress upon yourselves to please, if you're going to be buying stuff from them, don't be like Grandma. Pay attention to what, I'm sure they must have a size somewhere saying how big something is. And because I bought something, I could have got a smaller version, but I love the bigger version so much, and I didn't think they'd be that big. Maybe I should have looked and thought, well, this is sort of pricey. Maybe it might be a little bigger, but I guess I didn't think that way. I will be doing that now in the future. But wait until you see what Grandma's done. It's going to be a little while, because like I said, I'm trying to only share 3 or 4 or 5 pieces at a time, because I don't want, it's too expensive to be, have too many pieces at one time. But I have some beautiful pieces to share with you, and I hope you enjoy seeing them. And I want you to know how much I love they're beautiful pieces they have at Mackenzie Childs, even though it's pricey. And I know I keep telling you guys that because I want you guys to maybe think about trying to collect something you really love. And it doesn't have to be Mackenzie Childs either. It can be anything. Try to think of a few inexpensive Dollar Tree things you want, but throw something good quality in there with those Dollar Tree pieces to make your tablescapes look a little nicer. And you don't have to buy a whole bunch of real expensive pieces. Just a little, maybe one thing that's just center of that centerpiece, or that one little thing. But I do have a lot of inspired pieces too. So don't think that everything I have is super expensive. It's not. And love you all. Hope you didn't mind the rambling of this Grandma's Chit Chat today. And don't forget, May 4th, we are going to be doing our Mother's Day. And the first Friday of June, we're doing a water feature, miniature garden, fairy garden, or whatever you want to put kind of garden. Just as long as it has a water feature in it of some kind, big or small. Mine is going to be small because I do miniature gardening. And don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to put a video up with my 4 of my 5 great-grandchildren. And love you all. Thank you all for coming. I always love hearing from you. And I want to thank you guys. I should have put this right in front. Thank you for all the support I've got. I forgot to mention this, and this should have been the first thing I mentioned. Thank you all for all your love and support that I got for my April Alice in Wonderland theme post that I did this month in April. I was so amazed at how many of you watched my videos all the way through, and also left me such beautiful, beautiful comments about how you really enjoyed my Alice in Wonderland theme post. And of course, on my channel, I can't afford to do this every single month or every single day. Alice in Wonderland is my big thing for the year. So that's why I really go out for it. And next year it will be just as beautiful, if not more, because we're going to look for some more great pieces to share with you. Thank you all so much for all your love and support and all your beautiful comments about my Alice in Wonderland April. Really, really appreciated all the love and support that you guys have given me. It means the world to me. And I really put a lot of time and effort into Alice in Wonderland every year. And it means the world that you guys took the time out of your day to watch those really long videos and gave me such beautiful comments. And some of them I almost felt like crying. I was so happy with joy. Thank you all for all of your love and support for this April. It has meant the world to me.